Hello and welcome to Super Great Kids Stories, wise tales from around the world which will make you laugh and sometimes cry. Recommended for ages 5 to 105. I'm Kim and I love stories. Hello Super Great Kids, and how are you? I'm very happy because it feels like spring is coming and the birds are singing and the blossom trees are blooming and, well, it's a lovely day in London today, which makes me want to shout up to the sky and dance. In fact, the story we're going to hear today has got some dancing in it. It's a celebration story all about a birthday party. It's from West Africa and it features that sly little trickster, Anansi the spider. I wonder if you can think of a really good party and try to think why it was particularly memorable while we have a quick word with the grown-ups. Hello, Super Great Kids. I'm back. I hope you thought of some exciting parties you've been to. One of my favourite parties was in the woods where we made dens and everyone ran around with water pistols. Quite a lot of fun. Well, here is this week's Anansi the Spider story. It's got a West African song in it. So do you think you could try and join in with the song? Ready? Are you sitting comfortably? Am I sitting comfortably? Then let the story begin. Mouth open. Story. Jump out. Once upon a time, when chickens had teeth and animals could still talk, there lived a girl called Gloria. One day, Gloria woke up and stretched and said, "Yee-ha! In 3 sleeps it's my born day, my happening day, my birthday." Gloria went to her mum and said, "Mummy, mummy, mummy, for my party I'm going to invite everyone in my class and everyone in my village. Everyone except for Anansi. He's such a trickster. He'll cheat in all the games and he's so greedy he'll gobble up all the food. So, Mummy, please, 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 please do not tell Anansi." "Oh, but Gloria, how will Anansi feel if he's not invited to your birthday party?" asked her mum. "Well," said Gloria, "I don't know and I don't care. He's not invited, so there." "And who's going to play the drum and sing the songs?" asked Gloria's mum. "Well," said Gloria, "I don't know and I don't care. He's not invited, so there." And Gloria skipped off down the dusty path to tell all her friends. "I'm having a party, you can come, but don't tell Anansi 'cause he's no fun. I'm having a party, you can come, don't tell Anansi, he's no fun." And you know how it is. News travels fast. And soon everyone was whispering about Gloria's party. "Gloria's party, you can come, but don't tell Anansi, he's no fun. Gloria's party, you can come, but don't tell Anansi, he's no fun." But there was a problem. On the day of the party, Baby Monkey ran up to Anansi and said, "Ooh, Anansi, Anansi, are you excited about Gloria's party?" "Party? What party?" asked Anansi. "You know, Gloria's party tonight, Gloria's party." "Gloria's party? Yes, yes, she's invited everyone, haven't you heard? Gloria's party, you can come, but don't tell Anan—" Oops. Bye-bye, Anansi. Must run. It's tea time. See you later. And off Baby Monkey ran. How do you think Anansi felt? Was he happy? No, he was not happy. He was furious. "Huh," said Anansi. "That is so mean. I'm the best musician in the whole village. I'll show Gloria. She'll be sorry. And you know what Anansi's very good at doing, don't you? Yes, that's right. He is the best trickster all around. So, of course, he came up with a plan. That evening, when everyone else was going to Gloria's party, they tiptoed past Anansi's house so he wouldn't hear them. But Anansi didn't care. Anansi wasn't there. Anansi was very quietly tiptoeing down to the river, where everyone went to fetch their water. And he hid in the bushes by the river, and he waited, and he waited, and he waited. Meanwhile, at Gloria's house, her mum was busy getting ready for the party. She sent Gloria's older sister down to the river with a big calabash which she carried on her head. A calabash is like a cooking pot and you can fetch water in it, so her mother could start cooking all the delicious party food. But the minute Gloria's sister dipped her calabash in the river, Anansi started to sing. Oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my. Well, the music was so good that Gloria's sister couldn't help it. She just had to dance. But once she started dancing, she found that she couldn't stop. And it got faster and faster and faster. Oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my. And faster, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my, oni do do, oni my. And when Anansi stopped playing the drum, she froze, a bit like in musical statues. Meanwhile, back at the party, everyone was getting hungry. "Gloria," shouted her mum, "your sister's been ages. I know it's your party, but could you just go down to the river and fetch me some water?" Gloria ran, and she ran, and she ran down the path to the river, and when she got there, you know what she found, don't you? There was her sister, frozen like a statue. "What's wrong?" she asked. "Are you playing tricks on me?" But her sister could not move. "All right then, I'll get the water," said Gloria. But the minute she dipped her calabash into the river, you know what happened, don't you? That's right, Anansi started to sing. And what did Gloria start to do? Yes, she danced, and she danced, and she danced. And the singing got faster and faster and faster. Well, Gloria danced and she danced and she danced, and when Anansi stopped the drumming, she froze. She simply couldn't move. Meanwhile, back at the party, everyone was getting really hungry. Gloria's mummy shouted to Gloria's little brother, "I need to start the cooking. Can you run down to the river and fetch me some water and see what's happened to Gloria?" So off her little brother went down the dusty path to the river. And you know what he found, don't you? There, down by the river, were his two sisters, frozen like statues in the middle of a dance. "What's wrong?" he asked, tugging them on their sleeves. "Are you playing tricks on me?" But his sisters couldn't move. "All right, then I'll get the water," said their little brother. But the minute he dipped the calabash into the river, you know what happened, don't you? That's right, Anansi started to sing. Oni do do, oni my. And what did their little brother start to do? Yes, he danced and he danced and he danced. And when Anansi stopped, he froze. He simply couldn't move. Meanwhile, up at the house, Gloria's mummy was still waiting. What's wrong with those children of mine? I'm going to have to go and sort them out. And she took a big calabash pot and put it on her head to carry it down to the river. And she walked and she walked and she walked along the dusty path. And suddenly, when she reached the river, she saw her 3 children standing there frozen. And she said, I don't know what games you're playing at, but everyone's really hungry and they need feeding. Come on, come on, come on, let's go. But her children didn't move. Right, said Mum, that does it. I'll fetch the water myself. And she took her huge calabash cooking pot off her head and dipped it into the water. And as she dipped it into the river, you know what happened, don't you? Yes, that spider began to sing his song. Oni do do, oni my my, oni do do, oni my my, oni do do, oni my my, oni do do, oni my my. But, as you know, and I know, mummies are more powerful than any magic, even the magic of a trickster spider. And Gloria's mum just kept scooping up water, swish, wash, swish, wash, swish, wash. And as she worked, she was thinking, and as she thought, she suddenly realised what had happened. Ding! But of course, she said, it's Anansi. He's always playing tricks, and he's the only one not to be invited to the party. And she shouted into the bushes, Anansi, I know what you're up to. Come here, right now. But the music kept going. Faster and faster and faster. Anansi, it won't work. Don't you know a mother is more powerful than anything? Anansi stopped singing and came out from behind the bushes, sulking and dragging his 8 legs along the path. Anansi, said Gloria's mother, it's Gloria's party. What do you think you're doing? I need to start cooking. The guests are all waiting and they're hungry. Huh, said Anansi. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not invited, so there. Come on, Anansi. You don't want to spoil a little girl's birthday, do you? All the guests will be starving hungry. Huh, said Anansi. Look, said Gloria's mum, I'll tell you what, Anansi. I'll make you a deal. How about you unfreeze my children, and to say sorry, you can come to the party and sing for everyone. And in return, you can join in all the games and share the food with everyone else. Anansi thought about it. Okay, said Anansi, just this once. It's a deal, Mrs. Peel. And he banged on his drum. And instantly, Gloria and her sister and her brother unfroze. And then they all went back to the party, including Anansi, and he sang and they danced, and he sang and they danced, and he sang and they danced, and then they all had such a delicious feast. And then Anansi sang and they danced, and he sang and they danced, and they were all as happy as can be. And as far as I know, they are all still dancing now. Do you think you could join them? Ani do do, ani my my, ani do do, ani my my, ani do do, ani my my, ani do do, ani my my. And that is the end of that story. And if you liked it, maybe you could tell it to someone else. Mouth open, story jump back in. Thanks very much for listening to that story, and thanks especially to all our listeners in Arizona. Do you think Gloria's mum did the right thing, inviting Anansi to her party after he'd tricked her daughter? Would you have invited him? I wonder. And if you like party stories, we've got a few other stories about parties you could listen to. There's Fox at a Party, and Ngwenya and the Crocodile. Oh, and Baby Crocodile's Birthday. Now, we do love hearing from you, and lots of you have been getting in touch with your beautiful pictures and reviews. So, it's time to dig deep into our bag of happies and say some thank yous. Thank you to Rahani, who is 4.5, from Seattle in Washington, for your drawing of Nora and the Ackee fruit. I can see that you've listened really carefully to the story, Rahani. I like your drawing of Nora under the waves of magic water from the river. Great writing too. Thank you. And thanks to Herbert, known to his friends as Bertie, from Hawke's Bay in New Zealand. Bertie drew a fabulous drawing of the Green Dragon and the Rooster story. He conveyed how small the rooster was next to the great big dragon. Thank you, Bertie. And Charlie, who is 6, and Imelda, who is 3, from Kildare in Ireland, have each sent a lovely picture. Thank you, Charlie, for your drawing of the troll hag from the Norwegian story Butterball. And thanks, Imelda, for your picture of Baba Yaga, fast asleep and snoring beside Natasha's baby brother. And thanks to Rosa, who is 5, from Minute in Ireland, who's been super busy drawing not 1, but 2 stories. She sent Anansi and the chest of stories and the Snake Sister. I love the crown the Snake Sister's wearing and the fact that she and her sister both have royal capes flowing around them. Both bright, colourful and expressive pictures. Thank you, Rosa. And a big thanks to Jasmine, who is 4, in Canberra in Australia. Jasmine has drawn the stick woman in a multicoloured dress, singing her little song as she walks along the road with her walking stick. Really good writing too. Thanks for sharing this, Jasmine. And 5-year-old Eva from Winchendon in Massachusetts has drawn a lovely picture of Tianjay and the yellow dress. Tianjay's holding her bucket and looking very sad. Really good, Eva. I think you're a storyteller. Hurrah! Thanks very much for sharing your picture. And Willa, who is 5, has drawn an awesome picture of Kojo the rabbit story. Willa has managed to make Sky God look both awesome and scary. And Kojo is rather marvellous with his white fur and his beautiful big eyes. Thank you, Willa. And 10-year-old Van from Colorado has shared his great talent with us in a drawing of Coyote and Baby Turtle. I love Coyote fuming at being tricked by Baby Turtle. Even the sun seems to be laughing at him. It's great the way you've made your drawing into a game and included other story characters in the picture too. Thanks for sharing it. And Huxley, who is 6, says his favourite story is The Blind Man and the Hunter. And he listens every night before bed. Glad you're enjoying the stories, Huxley. And Jack from Portland in Oregon, who is 7, has sent a picture of Kojo the rabbit. Kojo looks very small in the tall grass. And Jack's sibling Max, who is 5, has sent a great picture of Buki from Buki Dances the Kokioko. His hat makes him look really cool, Max. Thank you. And a big thanks to 7-year-old Eliana from Ohio, who drew a fabulous picture of Kibungu, the beast who wants a feast. I wouldn't like to bump into your Kibungu in a rainforest, Eliana. Very scary. It's a fun story though, isn't it? I wonder if you can sing any of the songs from the stories. Thank you. And finally, thanks to Sylar, who is 6, from Vancouver in Washington. Sylar has coloured the picture of the story Rooster Finds Gold from the Super Great Kids Stories colouring book. He likes to colour pictures while listening to the stories. Perfect, Sylar. And if you're interested in a Super Great Kids Stories colouring book, you can take a look at them on Amazon. More thanks coming next week. I've been posting your pictures on our Facebook page. If you'd like to see them, go to facebook.com/Super Great Kids Stories. And a very big thanks to all of you who've been supporting us on Apple and Patreon and Ko-fi. Thanks to Ruby and Lily, Elizabeth P. and Lonan and Desra. We rely on your donations and subscriptions to keep producing Super Great Kids stories and to pay our storytellers. If you'd like to support us, you can give a one-off payment on ko-fi.com/Super Great Kids Stories, or for bonus stories and early access, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on Patreon, which you'll find on our website at supergreatkidsstories.com. And we've had some very thoughtful reviews too. So thank you to Marcy A. and Llama 10 Catgirl and Kaylen ED, all from the United States. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening, and thanks for all of your pictures and messages. Do keep telling your stories and singing your songs. Bye for now. This Super Great Kids podcast was produced in Wardour Studios in London.